So how can leaders apply your golden circle concept to inspire their teams and organizations?
So the two things I would offer that really profoundly help in an organization, and they're both religion for me, and it changed the course of my life, changed the course of my business. Number one, I learned to start with why, right? So I gave you the example before. I didn't tell people what I do, I tell people what I believe, right? So when you're flying home on the flight, after this event, you'll probably sit next to somebody on a plane and you have plane conversations where somebody turns to you and goes, "What do you do?" And you go, "I'm a chiropractor." And they go, "Cool." And except for the 10% of people who want to talk to a chiropractor, that conversation is over. Because nobody cares about what you do. And by the way, if you said, "What do you do?" and they go, "I'm in marketing," they go, you're going to go, "Cool." Right? So the two things I did. Number one, I stopped talking about what I did and I only started talking about what I believed. Right? You heard the hypothetical example I gave a moment ago. You say, "I love what I do every single day. I help people find ways to live a more inspiring life." Oh my God, how do you do that? Believe it or not, I'm a chiropractor. And then you can talk about you for the next 2 hours if you want. Right? So number one was I learned to start with why. I learned to start with what I believe, not what I did. The second thing is the law of diffusion of innovations. It became a religion for me. Right? Really, really quickly, law of diffusion of innovations. All populations sift across the standard deviation, the bell curve. If you have high performers, you have low performers, you have an average, always, right? Like I know in this room there's a percentage of people who are just nodding their head going, "Oh, I love Simon." I know there's a percentage of people in this room who go, "He's an idiot," right? And then I know there's an average who are kind of open-minded, right? I know that coming in. So the law of diffusion tells us that the first 2.5% of any population are your innovators. These are your big idea people. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, right? Then you have your early adopters. These are the people with a higher risk tolerance. They're willing to try something new, be a part of something that reflects their own beliefs. They're willing to spend more money, make more effort, travel further to see you, go out of their way, because somehow you reflect their beliefs. Then you have the early and late majority, more cynical, more practical. What's in it for me? Will I get my money back if it doesn't work out, right? And then your laggards, the only reason they partake in anything because you have no choice, they have no choice anymore.